The man dressed in all black is back. Kit Harington is set to make his appearance as Dane Whitman in the Eternals. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? It's Semp. Welcome back to the channel. Here's my video for the rumored post-credit scene for the Eternals and my theory for how it might play out, as well as the importance of it for the future of the MCU. But first, we need to know who exactly Dane Whitman is, so let's talk about it. Dane Whitman is a normal human who was born in Massachusetts, a historian of sorts who works in a museum in the modern day, among other places. The first Black Knight is actually Dane Whitman's ancestor, Sir Percy of Scandia, who lived during the days of King Arthur's reign. Now eventually he was killed and Dane's uncle Nathan Garrett became the villainous Black Knight, the second iteration of the character. In the comics, his uncle was actually wounded by Iron Man, where he would eventually die, but not before asking Dane to restore honor in their family legacy. But he was never told about the Black Knight. Eventually, as an adult, Dane inherited his uncle Nathan Garrett's castle, which he actually then turns into the museum. Dane was unaware who his uncle truly was until he found notes and inventions in the castle, where eventually he would meet a spirit of his ancestor Sir Percy of Scandia, and he was then given the Ebony Blade. The Ebony Blade is a magical blade forged by Sir Percy and Merlin, a wizard in Arthurian legends who was also at one point the Sorcerer Supreme. So they crafted the sword together from a starstone meteorite, and it has the enchanted ability to cut through any object. However, to prevent the death of the wielder and to deflect any magic from the sword, it also carries a curse that slowly corrupts the holder, giving them a lust for violence and blood. Dane over time learns from Null, who is the creator of symbiotes like Venom, that the holder of the Ebony Blade can only be a person who is impure of heart, which has been passed down in his bloodline. So the sword is one of the most powerful objects in Marvel Comics, and many people have used or tried to gain access to its usage, and in the MCU that will be no different. So spoiler warnings about the Eternals here. Dane is said to not be the Black Knight at all within the film, and this was actually confirmed by Marvel Studios producers. However, a long-time rumor, and I guess you could say leak, explains that one of the two post-credit scenes will be Dane finding the Ebony Blade. Kevin Feige spoke about how excited he was to cast Kit Harington as Dane, and mentioned that it was a role that could grow into something else in the future, hence the Black Knight. There are even reports that a Black Knight Disney Plus show is already in the beginning stages, which is one of the announcements that I hope we get, possibly on Disney Plus Day. So overall, I believe this story will be similar to his rise as the Black Knight in the comics. And like we see in the trailer, it's possible that we see the Black Knight from deep in the past in this clip with his ancestors. And we also know that 40% of the Eternals film will be taking place in the past, throughout 7,000 years of time. This could just be one of the world's greatest disasters that the Eternals have to watch and suffer because they cannot interfere. And it's been rumored that we see the bomb of Nagasaki in World War II, and also the eruption of a volcano or tragedy that leads to the death of another early civilization, possibly even Atlantis. So in this scene here, based on the trailers and TV spots, Dane will uncover the truth about Cersei, and she will explain to him their Eternals' origin. This will also tie into why I believe they are together in the first place. A theory that I have, or one idea, could be that Icarus was snapped, hence why Salma Hayek's Ajax is explaining to him what happened and what is happening in the trailer. And this could also explain why Cersei falls in love with Dane, because Icarus was absent for those 5 years. This will cause the supposed love triangle of a man that she was with for thousands of years versus the new human one that she has come to grow fond with during Icarus' absence. So following the leaks, which were everywhere, including from Reddit and other insiders that had correct Eternals knowledge and about the plot, Dane will uncover the Ebony Blade and his journey as the Black Knight will begin. I'm unaware of the context of the scene and how it'll happen, but you can bet for an awesome post-credit scene, and if you're familiar with the comics, Dane and Cersei become huge role players on the Avengers at one point, and it sounds like the MCU in this story is headed exactly in that direction. So let me know your thoughts about this topic and comment below who you're most excited to see in the Eternals. The cast is so good and I'll be there on opening night to see it. If you're new here or just like Marvel the MCU comics and everything in between, subscribe to the channel. Drop a like if you enjoyed, follow me on Twitter for all news and updates, links are in the description below. And other than that, I just want to say thank you. I'm another Marvel guy, and I'll catch y'all on a blip.